Hey Aries, welcome to your 2020 Sidereal Astrology reading. So this reading is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to this form of astrology, definitely check out that link down below because the signs are different from mainstream astrology. Your signs are different from your mainstream birth chart. So do check that out if you're new, but hopefully you're watching this for your sun, moon, or ascendant in Sidereal Aries. If you want to find out your sidereal signs, there's a link down below for the birth chart calculator where you can type in your date of birth and get that information. If you are going to watch just one video, I do recommend watching this for your ascendant time, but that does require knowing your time of birth and again using that calculator down below. All right, so Aries, we're going to talk about the most important things that are shifting for you this year. Looking at some of the aspects we have with the outer planets, the eclipses, as well as some of the sign changes we have with those outer planets. So all in all, the major area of development for you is on your 9th house. This is the house that deals with our beliefs, our perspectives on life, our worldview, our philosophies, also our spirituality or religion when it's about the higher wisdom of those things, and also travel and adventure on a more physical level. So you've already had a lot of activity here, even as far back as 2007 when you've had Pluto transiting through here. So a lot of you have been really transforming your beliefs a lot, and it's been very good to practice non-attachment to your perspective so that that can change, and to your life path so that that can change. But the past couple years there has been this more solidification, probably a more realistic or grounded perspective than usual. Saturn's been helping you really see how philosophies can be very realistic and grounded, how we can cultivate some of our potentials and aspirations in a way that takes time. So that's still going on this year. But the difference this year is that Jupiter has recently entered into this 9th house of yours. So that's the complete opposite to Saturn. This is more about expansion and potentials with these maybe adventurous things or philosophies. So whereas it's still a great year to maybe finalize some of the more grounding elements of your perspective, Jupiter is helping you see your worldview, to expand your worldview, to think big, to see the potential with thinking big, and seeing your life from a bunch of different perspectives, which can create some opportunities to, again, maybe access some of your adventurous side. For some of you, maybe opportunities for travel, maybe some of that still coming through your work, if that's been the case the past couple of years. So this yin and yang, Saturn-Jupiter energy, very constructive for all things 9th house. So January, we have the lunar eclipse on January 10th. And this is going to be in your 3rd house, which is the opposite house of expansion. And this is the house of very practical matters. So while there's a lot going on in your expansive area, it's very important to have, or at least to experiment with new things on the practical front. Maybe business, trade, communication, language, reading, writing. These are great things to be exploring pretty much, well, particularly the first half of the year. As the nodes finish up this axis, but to try new things with this the first half. Now on the January 10th lunar eclipse, there will likely be some awareness about this, and in fact, if there has been anything from the previous 6 months involving learning, reading, writing, communication, this stuff could be solidifying or at least shifting directions, a step in the right direction here around January 10th. But most importantly, as a status check, do examine, see how your practical life is going and how you can further develop that for the first half of 2020. Now on January 12th, we have the conjunction between Saturn and Pluto in this 9th house. So where, again, a lot of your beliefs and perspectives have probably been transforming since 2007, Saturn's now helping lay some new foundations here. So there might be some final transformations as Pluto finishes up Sagittarius here. There might be some old beliefs, old perspectives. It's very important to allow for some old beliefs, perspectives, philosophies, aspects of your spirituality, maybe travel or long distance related matters, to be non-attached to that stuff so that new foundations can be laid, because this conjunction is about basically transforming structures, right? So it's the bulldozer of Pluto coming in, and then Saturn, the builder, to lay some new fresh foundations to then again build upon as you finish up this 9th house building here in 2020. Now in February, on February 20th, we start Jupiter sextiling up to Neptune. It's not a major aspect, but there is this opening for a little bit more receptivity. Again, this is expanding your perspectives with Jupiter in your ninth, but it's in a very good harmony to the future sector, so your future ideals. With Jupiter here, there's been a lot of, for many years, a lot of maybe dreams or ideals about what's possible regarding your future, or maybe regarding community or collective matters, but also at the same time some uncertainty with that. So this is now an easy aspect to gain a little bit more receptivity about the future. Notice a little bit more ebb and flow about your future ideals or collective matters or community things, just a little bit of this. And so this will be spanning throughout the whole year up until October 12th, which will be the last aspect. And between then, on July 27th, maybe some things will shift in the right direction that has something to do with linking up this more expansive side of yourself that's developing and the side that maybe has some ideals about the future or community related things. Now in March, we have Saturn dipping into Capricorn, where he's going to be up until June. And then he's going to go back into Sagittarius, and then he's going to be in Capricorn for 2 years, all the way through 2023. So 2021, 2022, and the first couple months of 2023 will have this. So you get a little bit of this sneak peek between particularly March through June here, this first half, second quarter of the 2020. And in this case, this is Saturn going into your career sector. So Saturn's helping you build some new foundations with your career. And you may notice some limitations there, but it is about working within those limitations so that your career or your public life or your achievement life can be built for the long term. So do, embody that Saturn energy, see how things can take time, and we can develop that patience and discipline in all things achievement, career or public, that you can start to build some foundations with that, again, maybe might be 2 or 3 year goals or 2 or 3 year projections in terms of that development there. But usually good to work within limitations nonetheless. Now in April, we have Neptune dipping into Pisces collectively. And this will be between April and September of this year. So for this kind of middle part of the year, April through September, it's a really good time for you to get into the spiritual aspects of things. This will be your 12th house where Neptune loves to be. So maybe noticing more intuition, heightened intuition, maybe gaining some deeper insights through your dreams. Great time to get some alone time or spiritual activities, right? It's a kind of subtle energy throughout those months, but it's essentially helping you gain greater peace and greater acceptance in your life. And anything that aligns to that etherically or even imaginatively, really good for creativity and imagination during April through September. Now also in April is when we have Jupiter conjoining up to deep Pluto, so there could be some awareness about what could be transforming, and again transforming these perspectives. So the first contact will be April 4th, the second will be June 30th, and the last will be November 12th. So during these months, as it kind of, it progresses here, see if there is anything that you can learn about yourself on a deeper level regarding your beliefs. Maybe dive deep into your psyche. What are your beliefs, your perspectives? Are you non-attached to them? Are you non-attached to life and what life has to offer in general? And by non-attachment, I mean, maybe facing some fears, maybe facing death, some deep things psychologically that we might be afraid of in regards to what might inspire you deep down inside, or maybe involves travel or adventure. It might involve some of these more expansive things like broadcasting, marketing, publishing, anything that is, again, more on that expansive level. So a nice step in the right direction. We get some wisdom about these deeper things with this conjunction. So the next major aspect will be in June. It'll be a solar eclipse, and this will again be in Gemini. So anything that started earlier in the year, like I said, around January, that shifted with the practical matters, this could be solidifying. But with this solidification, there is something new that is emerging here. So again, even the second half of 2020, but in this new kind of way, it's a great time of developing, again, the practical side of life. For you, reading, writing, communication, anything practical knowledge, business or trade, These kinds of things really good, and this very, very close, very total solar eclipse we have in June could be a nice step in the right direction with this. We do have a lot of retrogrades at this time. Do keep that in mind, so do be flexible around this time with these new things with your practical life, but nonetheless, the second half of 2020 really good to, again, further develop that area of mind and communication. All right, the next major month is September, where Neptune will come back into your 11th house. So between September and February of 2021, good time to maybe finalize some of the ideals that maybe you've had over the past many years in regards to these future matters, right? Like I said, this year does have this good synergy with maybe the future aspirations, seeing divine timing, things ebbing and flowing there, maybe with community matters. And so this is all sort of finalizing, where once you do get into 2021, you'll probably start to see that you're exactly where you're meant to be with your community or with your future ideals, and the fog starts to lift and you start to see these things a lot clearer, and in a sense they complete or finalize in a way that life's kind of divinely helped you follow this very receptive path there. All right, and then November we have a lunar eclipse. This will be in your second house of resources, and this will be a new eclipse here for you with the nodes shifting signs here. So with this one, just a good time to do a status check with your resourcefulness, your self-reliance, your inner resources, and quite possibly your external resources, like your finances or material security. Do a status check there. Really good to continue to cultivate these things from whatever comes to your awareness. Some things could even harvest in that resource sector for you there. That'll be November 30th, lunar eclipse in Taurus. All right, and then the last month here, December, we have a solar eclipse in Ophiuchus. This is your 8th house, so going into 2021, maybe releasing some deeper things. Healing can actually be a very therapeutic thing here. Maybe there's some things you can dive deep with yourself, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, that as you do become aware of, it's going to help you release, and that releasing can lead to more healing, more transformation. So that'll be December 14th there with that solar eclipse. And I would say the second half of 2020 is just all in all a good time to do these deeper things. And there might even be some things being released regarding shared resources or other people's money or anything borrowed or loaned or debts. There could be some of this stuff also being sort of finalized as you get into 2021. So good time to release some karma, maybe just really be aware of. There's nothing to really do here. Just be aware of that there is some karmic stuff being released there in the deeper sector. And then the last thing here is on December 21st, we then have Jupiter over Saturn. So like I said, it's a very constructive year for your beliefs, your adventurous side, your perspective on life. And so this is now a good solidification of that at the end of the year, where again, it's the contraction, the hard work you've been doing here in this expansive area, as well as the potentials you may be seeing with them, and now maybe building upon those potentials, or at least finalizing them as you do go into 2021. All right, so Aries, that is the 2020 forecast in terms of the most important things. Of course, I do make daily videos, so if you aren't subscribed, be sure to subscribe for those. Also, this video does come with a 20% discount on the personal readings. So if you do want a live session or an MP3 recorded reading, be sure to check out the link down below for a 20% discount on those. But I wish you all a fantastic 2020. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.